Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to give you my reaction and review to Take Me Out, the video by Scandal, as the last of our Scandal weekend reviews. So, let's check this one out. Basically, if you already know how this works, I've already done the reaction, so if you want to see the reaction, pause this video where I'm about to give you the review, click the link in the description below, it'll open a separate little YouTube player where you can watch me doing the initial reaction to the song, in case you haven't heard the song before, if you just want to see my face and voice reacting to hearing it for the first time. Otherwise, here comes my review of Take Me Out by Scandal. You ready? Don't say I didn't warn you. Here we go. Okay, so this one was, like I say, a really nice addition to what had already been a really eclectic list. It went in that jazzy direction. It reminded me we've had some jazzy artists on this channel before, whether it be things like sorry, my phone just went and completely blocked my memory while I was about to talk. But we've had jazzy artists, I mean things like Tricot all the way through, quite a few of them. Stop ringing, for Christ's sake, this is the last one. I don't need you doing this one. I'm trying to... Sorry. It's the same person messaged me twice. You don't need to know that. It had like a feel that reminiscent of some other groups that we've heard who've done this kind of thing before. A sort of jazzy poppy song. It's quite a popular style in Japan, I've noticed, certainly of recent. However, what was nice about this is that although a lot of playing was quite simple, you know, for a jazzy song, the bass was fairly rudimentary, the guitar was doing fairly rudimentary things. A lot of it was down to the sort of funky way that it was bouncing and the rhythm and the drum beat. However, it was nice because it was accessible in that sense, and it meant that it had room to be catchy and poppy in the chorus. That was a really cool, catchy chorus there. So, you know, it was very complete, and it was nicely straddling that line. It didn't go so far as to sound, you know, it didn't feel like it was a cheap attempt at a pop chorus or a cheap attempt at being jazzy. It felt like it was nicely balancing the two very purposefully. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Like I say, I love the fact that you could really feel the playing. It was one of those songs that I often describe as being quite tangible, especially with the drum beat. You could feel the touch of the drums. You know, you could hear out each snare was just a little bit different, and how she was bouncing off of the snare drum. Just really good. And I did really like that beat as well. Vocal line was really cool delivered. I could get a feeling of there being some good like vocal layering in there as well, which I think probably comes down to Scandal once again having numerous singing members. Always a useful thing to have in a band. Yeah, I really, like I say, I really took a feeling that this was quite an interesting and just expertly delivered song, considering it's not something I would consider to be them. I wouldn't consider them to be naturally a smooth jazz sort of band. I love the fact that, as we've noticed from this and other songs, they eclectically bounce between styles and do them within the scope of still sounding like Scandal, but they bounce between the styles in a way which always feels like they're really, really getting to grips with everything they do. And yeah, I've been really taken by... I already knew this was a group with an eclectic ability, as I say, from having done track-by-track listen-throughs to both the first album, Best Scandal, and the most recent album, Kiss from the Darkness. However, it's really nice hearing that over, because you guys had selected, I was glad to say, I noticed that these songs really cover a good range of Scandal albums. I mean, we're hearing songs from all throughout their career over Scandal Weekend, and it's really interesting and true how they've just delivered so many things, like from Pinhill Surfer being kind of like smooth and poppy and almost like a girl band song, to this being kind of like a smooth jazz song, then having harder rock songs, having more, you know, sort of pop rock punky songs, you know, a real mixture of everything. I've been really impressed and blown away by what they've achieved here, and this is a fantastic way to cap that off with something that again had a real identity. I mean, they could have just played a simple pop rock song and I would have said, hey, that's good, nice way of finishing it, but I feel very much rewarded by this. Yeah, I'm impressed by this. I got to admit, if I'm talking about the Scandal songs that I've listened to in Scandal Weekend up until this point, and if you haven't checked out the other reactions, please do, the other reactions and reviews, please do, because I'm kind of summing things off at this point based on this last song. I would say that, you know, I'm not going to say that that in any way this has told me that this is like now my favorite band of all time or anything like that. And, you know, in the individual songs, there were certain things that I did and didn't like about all of them. However, overall, this has made me much more enthusiastic about listening to more Scandal. And as well, like I say, I don't think there's any of these songs that I considered bad. I would gladly listen to all of them again. Certain ones would appear in my memory more to make me come back to them. I would say this is one of those ones where, as good as it was, because the various things it does, it's got a catchy chorus, but not like ultra catchy. And the way it does that jazz pop thing is really good, but we have heard other bands do that before. This is one that wouldn't maybe stand up so much in my memory for begging me to come back to it. And yet at the same time, if I heard this come on, I'd be like, yeah, that's that Scandal song. That's really good. So, I mean, like I say, there is a balance between how I felt about these songs, between being, okay, that's good, and some of them I've really, really enjoyed. But, it's an air of quality. We're always honest on this channel. We don't just say anything's perfect unless there's really nothing I can find to criticise, and I always can find something that I think could be improved, even if it's just my opinion. But I must admit, like I said, I've come out of this from being impressed by Scandal before to being even more impressed by them now, and really just kind of like feeling like this is a band who have justified their position of being around as long as they have, justified their fame, justified the amount of support they have, and perhaps justified more support than they have. So like I said, I can't really add more than just, what a good experience, what a really enjoyable band, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of them, as I certainly will. Looking to get through all of the Scandal material one way or another, as I did with Bandmade and Baby Metal before, and as I'm doing with a couple of other bands also as well. So anyway, I really enjoyed this. Please get in the comments, tell me what you think as well. Give me any final thoughts on what you thought of the Scandal weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I certainly have got something from this, and I hope you have, whether you knew the songs or not prior to seeing this little episode for the channel. There will be more Scandal. This is certainly not the last time we check them out, but they'll go into our sort of normal rotation, so we'll pick them up as we do with other artists. But I thought this was a good way of catching up with what has been such an important Japanese artist who we haven't really had a chance to do much on, apart from those 2 track-by-track album listen-throughs. And, as always, liking and subscribing is much appreciated. We've got quite a few Scandal fans on our Discord, proper heavy Scandal fans, including Harry, who I want to give a massive thank you to. He's the one who subtitled the videos that we saw today. And so, I just wanted to say thank you to you as well for making it through to the end of this video. Thank you to our patrons for supporting and keeping this whole thing alive. And until I hopefully see you soon on the next video here in Japan, get in there, get in the comments, get in the community, and subscribe if you don't mind. It's much appreciated. Or just a little like will be much appreciated as well. And until I see you soon, for now, ciao ciao.